Sup, y'all? Winnie here, and if the noise level of outside cooperates long enough, today we're going to be reading Normality. I couldn't tell you what I think that's going to be, but I feel like because it's called Normality, it's probably like Watch Me Keter. That'd be funny. It's Euclid though. Why is the what happened to the website's red? Okay. Special containment procedures. Site 68 has been constructed around 1485 for containment purposes, as the atmosphere, environment, and biological inhabitants of A have been proven to be virtually identical to baseline equivalents through multiple controlled tests and analysis. Standard protocol regarding the vacuum sealing of dimensional containment chambers to be ignored. All technological and cultural information sent to A must be screened ahead of time by a level 3 researcher in order to avoid potential security breaches. Is this another alternate universe? It used to say once weekly a Foundation liaison is to be sent through 1485 for purposes of diplomatic contact. But, as of October the 22nd, 19 something, all interpersonal exchanges between A and the baseline reality have been suspended indefinitely. See Discovery and Liaison Log. The automatic defense grid housed in 1485's containment chamber, previously to be used in the case of a potential invasion, has been repurposed to prevent unauthorized access to A. Researchers assigned to 1485 must undergo extensive background checks to ensure their loyalty to the Foundation in order to be under the guard of security officers at all time while conducting research on 1485. Okay. Description. SCP-1485 is an extra-dimensional space-time anomaly measuring 9.71 meters by 10.54 meters. It acts as a transition point between our universe, baseline for the purposes of this document, and a parallel universe designated 1485A. It is impermeable to atmospheric substances such as oxygen and carbon dioxide, while being penetrable by other forms of matter, including human beings. For details regarding the makeup of 1485, please consult Supplementary Document 75A. Level 3 clearance is required. I guess that's what that is. The world of A is nearly identical to the baseline. Physical laws, historical events, and chemical makeup of the atmosphere and environment bear an estimated 99.98% similarity to the baseline worlds. Let's see. The remaining 0.02% of divergence is mostly historical, redacted likely due to the absence of a Foundation equivalent. For more details, consult A Historical Document 20, if it's even here. Several parallel counterparts to baseline people exist in the A universe, of whom roughly 3/4 have their lives similar or nearly identical to their equivalents in our universe. A is primarily distinguishable from the baseline world by its apparent total lack of anomalous or otherwise extranormal activity. With the exception of 1485, activities, events, or persons directly contradicting scientific laws do not occur on a regular basis, and those alleged to occur are regarded as myths or superstitions by the academic and scientific communities of A. Extensive research has determined that no Foundation equivalent nor any groups of interest exist in A. Groups dedicated to the containment of paranormal events and artifacts are regarded with derision and condescension by the public at large. So it's the real world, then. Due to the lack of a Foundation equivalent organization, diplomatic contact is carried out through the A counterpart to the United States government. Because of the extensive similarities between the baseline world and A, research is primarily focused on understanding the properties of 1485 and the minor historical divergences between the two worlds. Previously, the Foundation conducted regular diplomatic liaisons into A, however these have been suspended due to high desertion rates, see below. Okay, so let's check out that clearance first. As of February 2000-something, relations between A and the baseline have begun to deteriorate. Communications from A have become accusatory and hostile in nature, citing the anomalous nature of the baseline universe and the potential threat it poses to A. A authorities have expressed a desire to seal 1485 and prevent Foundation access to their universe. Diplomatic relations may be severed in the near future. Okay. January 19-something. 1485 discovered. Site 68 constructed and completed several months later. In April of that year, presumably, it was discovered by the A inhabitants. Diplomatic relations established. July, first diplomatic liaison into A conducted. Exploration reveals aforementioned properties of A. Agents returned to baseline 2 days later. November, first recorded desertion by Foundation personnel. 2 agents assigned to A leave their provided accommodations and escape into the outside world. As of this writing, they have not been recovered from A. Security protocols updated. January, entire Foundation liaison team assigned to A deserts. Of the 10 personnel that deserted, only 2 were intercepted. 1 self-terminated prior to capture and 1 surrenders to the A authorities. See interview log. In October, diplomatic liaisons to and from A suspended indefinitely, security protocols updated. Interview log. Agent Blank was a Foundation officer assigned to A and the only personnel member recaptured after the January 19-something desertion incident. She had been employed by the Foundation for 9 years prior to her desertion and was considered to be highly dependable and trustworthy. Interviews being conducted by head researcher Smithers. Good afternoon, Agent. Hey there, Smithy. How's the family? Repetitively pleasing as always. Sifts through papers before finding the file. You'll forgive me if I wish to dispense with the small talk. I trust you know why I'm speaking to you today. Yeah, let's get on with it. I suppose we should start from the beginning. Could you describe the events leading up to your liaison mission to A? Well, it hadn't been the first time I'd been on a multiverse assignment. Ever since that incident with Redacted, I've been the go-to girl for a lot of the Foundation's dealings with alternate realities. Makes sense, I guess. Always loved science fiction growing up. Never thought it wasn't fiction. How'd the mission go? Well, we made our way through the portal easy enough. God, or whatever passes for it in this fucked up world of ours was nice enough to make it big enough for us to easily slip into. Once we got to the other side and made ourselves comfortable, it was different. I don't mean different as in something that you immediately tells you you're not in your universe. Nothing big like zeppelins in the sky or traffic driving on the other side of the road. It was just... Agent? I felt like I had a giant weight lifted off my shoulders. I see. And how did the mission go over the next few days? It was pretty standard multiverse stuff. Make contact with the other side, take samples, get an update from the current situation, yada yada yada. Thing is, they kept giving us odd glances when they thought we weren't looking. You think they were suspicious of you? Not suspicious, but wary. I mean, this was the first time they'd ever had to deal with any of this stuff. Then they find out it's par for the course in our universe. Can't blame them for not trusting us. So, if they did not trust you and kept you under constant surveillance, why did you betray us? You've worked for the Foundation for nearly a decade, and we've always rewarded you for your service appropriately. What made you decide to throw that all away? You've never been there, have you? If you had, you wouldn't be saying that. SCP-1485A is hardly a utopia. They have wars, suffering, and death just like we do. Well, yeah, of course, but when you're walking down the street, you can trust your eyes. You know that what you see is what's really there. There's nothing hiding in your peripheral, nothing lurking in the shadows. Everything is normal. Everything is right. You can trust your senses because there are no cognito hazards. You can trust science because there's nothing that defies it. It's just... Agent? It just makes sense. So basically, people were deserting because they were tired of living in the world they lived in. But it was making the other side angry at them. Like, hey, you're going to bring all your weird stuff to our universe, stop it. And they're like, we don't want to be in our weird universe anymore, take us. And most of them got away, but they brought her back, and the article stops there, but I have to assume that if they didn't give her Class B amnestics, they probably just shot her. It's what the Foundation does. It's probably why they deserted. But that's going to do it for this video. Normality indeed. It definitely sounds like they just went from their nonsense universe to the real world, and everybody in the real world's like, hey man, you didn't bring none of that weird shit with you, did you? And they're like, God, we hope not. Can we stay here? Sounds about right, sounds about right. If I had to deal with the possibility of like, well, time to go to work, wake up, brush my teeth, wash my hair, put on an orange shirt, and now I'm being beaten to death. Yeah, I'd probably stay in the alternate universe that doesn't have all that nonsense. But if you liked it, like and subscribe. If you didn't, don't. If you want to be notified of future uploads, click the bell. It's supposed to do that. And I will see y'all in the next one. Later.